Welcome back, everybody. Now, this is where I'm going to be a bit, what's the word? I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. But this is where I was right. And you know I was right in these certain places. I got 5 things to say here. And I'm right on all of them. We all know it. And we all saw it this weekend. Let's start off with one. It's probably the most controversial one. But Saquon Barkley is not worth the hype. I said it last week when I was going over the schedules. Well, not the schedules. When I was going over the record predictions for me, I said the Giants would end up as a bottom half team. And Saquon Barkley is not the answer for the Giants' problems. I was right. Point blank. Right. It's true. It's true. But many of you are probably sitting there saying, oh, but he broke up a 68-yard run, and he was great, and he had 100 yards rushing and caught the ball, and... What was the run you brought up? 68 yards? He ended up with 106. 5.6 yards a carry. 106 yards on 18 carries. Huh. Okay. Do you want me to go through those carries? Because I actually just did. I did it. I looked at the carries. I'm like, all right, let's just check and see what he did. Excluding the 68-yard run. His first carry was for 0 yards. Then it was -3. Then 10. Oh, we're getting somewhere. 5, 4, -4, -1, 1, 8, 0, 2, 3, 1, 5, 3, and 1. That's not getting you anywhere. That's the reason you only scored 15 points. That the 60-yard run was the reason you had 15 points. Now, I understand that he's better than any Giants running back they've had in recent years. I understand that. But who went to the other New York team at 3? Sam Darnold, who already looks like a better investment. So, Giants fans, let me just bring this. I have a good friend who's a Giants fan. Let me bring this up to you. Are you going to settle with 0, -3, 10, 5, 4, -4, -1, 1, 8, 0, 2, 3, 1, 5, 3, 68, and 1? One big run a game. That's what you're going to bank on? I guarantee you will never score 20 points. Not with the way Eli Manning played. Odell was okay. 11 for a 111. No touchdowns. He dropped touchdowns. Hey, we say this about everyone. Saquon is not the answer for the Giants' problems, and you drafted him 2 overall. You have to build for another few years in order for him to be the answer to your problems. Second thing, my Bengals offense was much improved. And I said this Bengals team's going to be better. They're going to have a better offense. They won 34-23. Not only was their offense improved, their defense was better. And not only was their defense better, they didn't quit like they usually do. Bengals are dangerous, and nobody's talking about them. And they got to go face the Ravens this week. If they take care of business against Baltimore, with the state of Pittsburgh right now, and Cleveland being Cleveland, nobody's stopping them from winning this division. Nobody. This division is a 2-team race between the Bengals and the Ravens. That's it. Steelers are out of it. They don't know what's going on. And until Bell comes back, they won't be in it. But let me just say this about Dalton. Dalton, 21 for 28, played well. Threw a pick his first pass. And that had me going like, really? 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 You threw a pick. That's so Andy Dalton. But he bounced back and went 21 for 27 afterwards. A.J. Green's a stud. We all know that. John Ross got his first catch. Expect more of that in the future. And he got a touchdown too. Tyler Eifert looked good. Healthy and good. And I'm not even talking about Joe Mixon. 17 for 95. Same average as Barkley, 5.6. But he didn't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He didn't have like 4 minus carries. He didn't. So the Bengals offense will be better. They're going to be a playoff team at the end when it is all said and done. They're going to be good. This one I'm most prideful in because I've been saying it since 2016. Dak Prescott is not a franchise quarterback. This is why I held off on him on the negatives. Because he's not. Did you see the game against the Panthers? Luke Kuechly got hurt in the game. Thomas Davis was not in the game. And this is what I hate most about Cowboys fans as of recently. Well, the offensive line couldn't protect him. It's not Dak's fault. Dez Bryant should be gone. He couldn't catch a ball. It's all Dez's fault. It's all Jason Witten's fault. No one can blame Dak. He's so good. What? Okay. If I were to make a video that showed all of the incomplete passes when Dak was targeting Dez, the majority of them would be Dak Prescott's fault. I'm not kidding. Overthrows, underthrows, straight at a defender. I have not seen a quarterback this bad since Colin Kaepernick. And yes, that might be a controversial take. But all the 49ers fans out there know, all the 49ers fans out there know, and I was one of them a while ago, a lot of them did not want Kaepernick on the field. And the Cowboys will soon see that. We'll soon see that with Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones doesn't even want him on the field. In fact, this morning he's sitting there comparing him to Jared Goff and Cam Newton. First of all, Cam Newton barely beat you. I don't even think Cam Newton's that great. But you're going to compare him to the first overall pick in the draft you drafted him in? Who? Now, what I don't like, and I'm going to call out again. I'm not going to call out anyone. But what I hate is I was watching a sports show this morning. And some guy had the nerve to say Dak Prescott was better than Jared Goff and dared to bring up his rookie year stat line. Do we all remember who Jared Goff's head coach was as a rookie? Jeff Fisher, who deserved to be fired years before he drafted Jared Goff. Did Jared Goff even have a chance to be successful with Jeff Fisher? No. Not one bit. But with Sean McVay, he's probably one of the most successful guys in the league, and he's young, and he's on a rookie deal. So don't be mad and sour that Carson Wentz has a ring in your division, and don't be mad that Jared Goff has already proven that he's better than Dak Prescott, and that the majority of quarterbacks in this league are better than Dak Prescott. If you take Dak Prescott over any other quarterback in this game with the exceptions of Mitchell Trubisky and any of the rookies with the exception of Sam Darnold, you're delusional. Just have to say it. The second one is, the fourth one, excuse me. The Steelers are a mess without Le'Veon Bell. We all saw it. If you have to tie the Browns, and we'll get to the Browns, if you have to tie the Browns, and you don't have Le'Veon Bell, and you're sitting there still chirping about it, then they're not a good team. And this is why I had them going 8-8. Yes, first of all, I had them going 8-8 because Shea Zier was not going to be on the field. That's simple. Their best defensive player's not on the field, so they're going to suffer a bit. But without Le'Veon Bell, their best offensive player, there is no excuse. And they're going to be a mess this year. And they're going to be pointing fingers all over the place all season. And I think to the point where they may get their head coach fired. Now let's just remember where this all started from. They tag Bell. Who do they pay? Antonio Brown, who I didn't think deserved the contract he got. Mr. I don't perform in the playoffs. This is why Bell does not want to come back to your team. It stemmed from 2 years ago when you paid Antonio Brown. I said it when that happened. You basically flipped the bird to the best offensive player on your team. And look where you are now. He's not coming back this year. He's going to go to the NFC where he's going to destroy you if you ever get to a Super Bowl, which you will not. Not with Antonio Brown. Not with the way Big Ben's playing. And why are we calling him Big Ben? Does he even deserve the name? The last time he was in a Super Bowl was the same time was the same game Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. So you all want to bash Aaron Rodgers for only winning one Super Bowl, not being back there. But all of a sudden we can't touch Big Ben because he's so great. Big Ben has not won one since he beat the Arizona Cardinals and Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner's a Hall of Famer right now. So that was ages ago. And you can say that the Aaron Rodgers one was ages ago. At least it was in this decade. I'm done talking about the Steelers and how great they supposedly are. When you can't get over New England, you're not considered great. When you can't get over the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're not considered great. When you've been a one and done in the playoffs for 5 straight years, you can't be considered great. And the reason why I call you one and done, yeah, you beat the Bengals. Bengals should have won that game. You didn't. You played a preseason game in the playoffs against the Dolphins, and then you beat the Chiefs, barely. And I think the Chiefs got robbed in that game. But since then, you've had a one and done against Jacksonville, and Blake Bortles. That's all I got to say. The last one for where I was right, the Browns are the same old disaster. Why are we sitting here parading them as an 8-win team? They tied. They had the game won. But because you're the Cleveland Browns, you couldn't win the game. This only happens to Cleveland. I swear. This only happens to Cleveland. And I'm a Bengals fan, and I know I went hard on the Steelers earlier, but oh my God, I was rooting hard for the Browns to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because if the Steelers lose that game, their season's over. It's over. Over. But the Browns are the same old disaster. I said they were going to go 3-13. They might go 2-13. They might go 3-12. And 1. And I hate ties. I don't think they should exist. But the fact of the matter is, the Browns have not improved one bit, and their coach will not throw Baker Mayfield in the game, and Tyrod Taylor is going to be the same disaster he has been for other teams. Now you can say he's good. I don't think he's good. He has not performed well with the Bills, and the only reason he's a Super Bowl champion is because he was the backup for Joe Flacco and the Ravens when they beat the 49ers. There's no excuse for the Browns to tie this game. 6 turnovers. And the fact of the matter that they tied the Steelers kind of hurts more because you had the game won. That's 2 straight games where you had the game won. If Corey Coleman doesn't drop the pass in Week 17, we're not talking about the 0-16 Browns. And if they aren't the Browns, we're talking about a 1-0 team that beat a top 10 team going into the season. By many accounts, not mine. That's all I got to say. That's where I was right. We're going to go on to where I was wrong next. Stay tuned.